Hello, good morning everyone. It's Marta. Welcome back. My friends, around a week ago or something like that, I was creating this card and I asked you at the end of the video whether you would like to see upgraded version for this card, and many of you said that you will be interested to learn how you can upgrade the card like that to make it something a little bit bigger and maybe a little bit more like a wow effect. So today's video I'm gonna be creating, it's gonna be kind of a preparation video because I will be making the flowers. I want to create the handmade flowers a little bit more advanced than those ones, so I am starting from the scratch, and I hope this is gonna be something interesting for you. It seems like whenever I post those flower making videos, you always seems to like them. So if you like this one as well, please don't forget to give a like, to comment something and share it. Just click the share button, maybe post it on your social media. Maybe some of your friends, they would like to learn how to create flowers. Now, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, for flower making, like those 3D shaped flowers. This is only my personal opinion, but this is something I come up with after the time making lots of flowers. There's so many different dyes in the market, like different companies, different things like you can use. It doesn't really matter which one you're choosing. Like, for example, this one, these are actually cut with the Lady E design dies, but there's so many of them. There's a Sizzix, Spellbinder, Creative Expression, Apple Blossom, so many beautiful companies. So it doesn't really matter. All is important that you have like 5 or 6 petal flowers, something to work on, and you not even necessarily need to have a die. You can use the punch, or you can take a piece of the cardboard, trace yourself using a pencil, trace yourself like a 5 petal, maybe do a little bit like a ruffle edge on them, so that will help you to create more natural look, and then fussy cut them using the scissors. All you really need is just a couple layers, pretty much the same size, and then like different 2-3 different sizes in a similar shape. They don't have to be identical. If you want to save yourself a time, you can then use 2-3 different elements, like, but it would be better if you will stick like 6 petal flower to 6 petal flower, 5 petal to 5 petal, so that will be like more unify on the flower. But even if you mix and match, that will be fine, and that will be something interesting to look. So for my flowers, I'm gonna be using watercolor paper. I like to work with watercolor paper. I think it's holding moisture really nice, and it has this interesting texture. If you look on a petal rose or something, they're not super like silky smooth. They also have that teeny tiny bit of the texture, so that's why I like working on watercolor paper. What I'm gonna need is some kind of a pastel or crayons. I'm using gelatos, but that could be anything. You could use ink pads. If you don't have gelatos, that could be ink pad. Watercolor paint also, you can paint with the paint with the paints. I know I know how it sounds, but whatever you have, whatever coloring medium you have, that could be very old. Let me just quickly show you the packaging. I'm just gonna grab it from the shelf. I've got these pastel chalks, and these were bought in Lidl's. I think I've bought them like, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, and look on that. I don't use them a lot, but some of them, my favorite colors. If you see here, let me just show you, they're kind of, it goes skinny, because what I'm doing, I'm using the wet wipes and I'm kind of taking a color that way. So these are very old. I think I've spilled something on the packaging, but these are working great. Whatever you have, this is absolutely fine. Just play with the supplies you already have in your stash, and you will be amazed, because sometimes we underestimate our own supplies and we always on the chase for buying more. So have a look in your stash first whenever you decide to follow and buy more. But if you're gonna be buying more, if you would like to buy some more, or would like to buy some flower dies or anything else, actually, I will leave you the link down below in the description area, or you could find it in my comment. I think I'm gonna post it in a comment. That's an affiliate link, so if you will make if you decide to make some shopping with the craft stash and you enter the store via this link, I will get a little commission. So that's a little support for me. So thank you so much. But please just check your supplies first. Use whatever you have, because you could be surprised. So many beautiful things we are hiding in the drawers and not using them as often as we should. Now I'm grabbing this gelato and I'm using the wet wipe, just taking a little bit of the color and roughly going. And even if there's like a little bit splotchy, something is uneven, that's fine. Nothing in nature is perfect, especially flowers. They are sometimes, you know, unevenly colored, they have some splotches, so this is fine. So all I'm doing, I am just coloring them one side, give them a little few seconds to rest, so that will be, you know, good for the color to stay in, and it doesn't really take as lot of the color with the baby wipe because it has a little bit moisture. And that's why I like to work on the watercolor paper, because this is distributing color really well. You don't have those you know, paper smudges. Like sometimes the cheap quality paper, once you add a little bit moisture and you will try to blend the color, these could kind of be like a crumble. So I never ever had any trouble with the watercolor paper. And actually this one I'm using just now, I don't even know the brand of it. This was a very cheap watercolor paper that was I think it was like a craft kit magazine, something many years ago. I don't even know the name, but that was a freebie because it was some like some things to do with the watercoloring, and there was this set of the watercolor paper, 10 sheets. I still got like 7, so I didn't even use it a lot because I've got lots of different watercolor paper, and I don't really have my favorite brand. I don't think I'm actually experienced enough with the watercolor paper. I am not watercolor artist, like I don't consider myself to be one. I don't do lots of painting or anything. All I'm really doing with watercolor paper is either using it for creating my flowers, or do some like a backgrounds, like, you know, spread some inks, do some smooshing techniques, things like that. But I'm not really a painter, so I won't give you any advice like which paper is better from another one, because I don't feel that this is my area of the expertise. So I don't want to, you know, give you advice because I haven't even tried. I know that there's lots of beautiful crafters out there on the YouTube channel. There's lots of different artists who are sharing their like watercoloring cards and paintings, so I would rather recommend to have a look on their video and, you know, just have a wee look and see what their advice on the subject. Now I'm just coloring roughly the back side, and on the back side I'm really more concentrating on the outside edge because this will be covered anyway, but I just want to have a little pop of the color on the areas where the you know, where my petals could be folded, so that way there will be no ugly white peeking through. There's nothing worse when you have those perfectly shaped flowers and, you know, they're like kind of a 3D folding, and then you've got this white unfinished paper on the back side. I just think that if you spend so much time on crafting, on creating those beautiful petals, it will be great just to, you know, make that extra second of the effort and just make sure that they will be beautiful from each side. So here we go, very quickly. It goes like a tape, like, you know, like this production line. Oh, I would say it's like a factory production line here. So one by one, and I don't even change the change this what is it, wet wipe. I'm just using those baby one, very cheap from the supermarket. I buy the hydration one, the one which are made with the water, just because, you know, I think they're a little bit safer, less chemicals in them. and I sometimes use them for my son, very little now because he's older, he's not a baby anymore, but yeah, but they are quite handy in a craft room as well. And these are just fabulous for adding the color to the flowers. If I work on a watercolor paper or foam, like a flower forming foam, these are great as well. So as you can see here, it doesn't really take as much time, and some of them I even go with the leftover what I have, just kind of trying to, you know, smear the backside just so I have a little bit, so it's not gonna be as obvious white on the back side. Now for the smaller one, I'll do a little bit more coverage as well on the back side, because these one are sometimes curl all the way down as a like a flower buds. So if you want to use them as a flower buds, I would recommend to kind of coverage them both way the same, like back and forth, like the front to be dressed up the same nice way as the back. Okay, now we are done. And here is another thing I'm gonna do, just so I could add a little bit more depth. And this time I'm gonna be doing it on the, is that one too red? Do you know what? I think this one is a little bit too red for my liking. I'm gonna go with this pink. This is a watermelon. It doesn't matter, but I just thought that that one is a little bit too dark. And again, I am adding a little bit of the color. And now what I am doing, I am only concentrating on the center part, and I'm just adding a little bit more depth, just so something a little bit extra. And or maybe that I should use that one. Let me see, a little bit of that one, of the red one. Maybe actually the first choice, you can see, maybe that one. A little bit mixture of both, doesn't matter. Oh, and even if you go accidentally off, that's fine too, because don't get stressed. As I've mentioned many times, and I've been saying this over and over again, in the nature you've got all sorts of splatters and uneven surface, so don't try to, you know, to be so perfect, because it will look better even if you have like some extra, you know, uneven surface that will make your flower be more natural looking. Okay, so a little bit more, a little bit of that one, a little bit of that one, doesn't really matter. Here we go. And then just rubbing in a center a little bit, not too much, but just something. Once you fold your flower, they will have kind of a depth into them. And this time here, I am only doing it on the one side. Like there's no point for doing it on the back side, because back side will be glue anyway, so no one will see it. I'm only worried about the outer edge from the back side, so they could be visible. Okay, so here we go, couple more. And it's not really, oh, that's the wrong side. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but sometimes when you die cut elements, they do kind of, you have this wrong or bad side. I think the front one is just having a little bit more like a better rounded shape on the outer edge, but even if you do it on the other side, that's fine too. They're not gonna be as much visible anyway. Now I'm gonna put my hot glue gun on, so that could be warming up now, and then we're almost done here. That's fine. Okay, then you can clean up your finger, and I'm using the stamping block here because this is just something which helps me to stay clean, my protection surface, and I don't have any stain here. Now, oh, that one's open. Let me just close that one. And here we're gonna need a little piece of the kitchen towel or something like that. And here's what I'm gonna do. I will place my flower shapes just like that. I'm gonna be working one size at a time. I think it's gonna be easier. Now let me just see, because I moved my my mat. Am I out of the frame? Okay, here we go. Now I'm just very gently misting them. It's just teeny tiny bit of the mist. This bottle is actually like a hair, what is it, hair conditioner spray, and I really like it because it has this very fine mist. Now I'm gonna be adding them maybe just like that on the back side on the kitchen towel. Okay, so they're kind of soaking up the moisture, and now I will be shaping them. I'm using this shaping tool, something like that, but if you don't have it, the old pen, which is no longer working, it will be working well as well. So here's what I'm doing. I am roughly following the line 1 millimeter away, and then I will do this crease in the center. So I will have this nicely formed flower. For this one, every time you make a flower, just do a little bit change maybe and see how you like it. This time I am doing one creasing line, but maybe try how it would look like if you would have two creasing line, for example. So this is a little change, and then again a second one, just like that. I don't think I will be sharing with you all the way down like how am I doing them. I will probably speed up a little bit the video and maybe just you know, or maybe cut it off, so you're not going to be watching me shaping all these I don't know, 20 flower petals I have. But basically this is the same rule all around, and crease in the center, and I am just following them one by one with this little tiny tool. But you can use old pen if you've got this like a ball pen which is no longer working. They kind of have the same rounded little ball at the end, so make sure that the pen is already, you know, stop working, so you're not gonna be creating the mess on your petals. And this is what we are doing. So here we go around the surface of each petal, and then creasing line in the center. But try to do two creasing line. Like for example, this one, let's make it. For this flower, I will do two creasing line. Why not? Just for a change, just for a fun. And you can see here we've got a little bit different design. So, you know, it's not a lot of the change, but little change. It could help your flowers to look a little bit different. Same way, your flowers will look slightly different if you would switch the colors. And what do I mean by that? If you, for example, will do darker color on the outside, so just color them from the outside and then leave a light, very light or even white center, your flowers will be looking absolutely differently. And again, next layer, I am just spraying them, just a little bit fine mist, very gentle spray. It's not about getting them wet, because this time I am not coloring them with watercolors. I am only trying to add a little bit moisture to help break the fiber. And I should actually just, oh no, maybe it's quite warm here, so I'm just doing them one by one. And I mean one size by one, not all of them at once. And again, I am just adding a little bit score line around my petals, and then one line in the center. And this will help to create the interesting look and something different. And this is quite fun because we are using the same die like over and over again, but by adding those little details like shading, like doing the scoring line across the center of the petal or something. And you could also do the scoring line from that side, so they will be indent rather than being on the outside. So it's so many different possibilities. Basically, your imagination is just something, you know, you can use whatever idea you have, and don't be scared to experiment. Like you know, even if you think like, oh, I'm not sure if it's gonna be working, my friends, you only have like couple pieces of the paper. You cannot ruin it, but you can discover a new way, a new technique, or something. Like, don't worry about it, even if it's not gonna be super pretty or the effect you would like to make, it's not gonna be what you thought. Like, so many times I have this idea on my head, like, oh, let me do this, this is gonna be wonderful, it's gonna be super cool and fabulous effect, and then I am creating it and I was like, I don't know if it's looking good, like, I'm not so sure now. So for that, I'm telling you, just experiment, because even if you find something it's not working, you are one step farther in your crafting journey. Because even if something is not working, you discover that this is not working, so you could improve from then, take it as a lesson, and for the next time create something different way, which hopefully will be working, you know. So that's the beauty of making the risk, to create the risky decision, and maybe, I don't know, just use some glue instead of embossing ink, or create something else, like switching the design, or, you know, different things, like so many things, like in the crafting, it's everything is possible. And even if it's not working, you are one step further. And this is something I actually I was reading the book about the you know, motivational kind of like self-help, self-improve book, and it was the chapter there, and it was about the Thomas Edison. And I just quickly tell you the story because I think it's so inspiring. And there was an interview, like someone was interviewing Thomas Edison, the guy who invented the lightning bulb. And they were asking him, oh, and that was before I think, or right after he find it successful. But anyway, it was known that he had some, I don't know how much numbers, I don't remember, but 1,000 or something. It was incredible amount of the trials with this lightning bulb, and they were, all of them were unsuccessful. And one of the journalists asked him, like, Mr. Edison, can you tell us, like, why are you keep on pursuing the idea once you complete like this, you know, 999 trials, and none of them were working? And to which he replied, that Thomas Edison allegedly replied, saying that, no, they didn't not work. I only found 999 ways of it like not being successful. So I am that 999 trial closer to discovery. And this was something which I really, like, you know, took into my heart, thinking like, yeah, this is right, this is so right. Like, it's not unsuccessful, it's just one way more to the knowledge that, okay, this is not good, I can try something else now. So it's not a failure, it's actually discovering, you know, that, okay, this is not working, and that's it. So I am always encouraging everyone to just do a trial. And, you know, oh, I said I'm gonna be editing this video, but I'm chatting all the way down. I don't know, I'll see how long the video is. I'll probably crop off this little chit chat, or maybe not. Let me know. By the way, let me know if you like this chit chat, or shall I make like a shorter videos. I don't know, I quite like to do that kind of a chit chatty one, because that's just a reminder of the live classes. And I'm still trying to get ready for my classes. Like, I need to arrange something with my mom and dad, so I could have this specific day of the week where I'll be making the classes, because my husband is working on a different, like, changeable pattern, so it's not always easy to have the same day booked. Now I have the sponge, and this is like cork board. This is one of those notice board, but I'm using, and I've chopped it to a small section, so it's easier and easier to use, and I've been using it over and over and over again. And oh my gosh, if you spot one in the supermarket, I've bought mine in Tesco ages ago, and I've been using it ever since. And now what I'm doing here, I am just kind of rounding the petals, and then I am pressing upside down, and then just to shape them a little bit. Now you could do, if you like your flowers to be a little bit more close off, what you can do, you can then shape them from another side, like from the top side, and then curl them, and that way they will be a little bit more close off. But I like mine to be open, so I'm just gonna do the other way around. And again, I am just pressing, and if you don't have the access to the shaping tool, let me just show you. You can have the pencil, like soft pencil or something. They have this rounded point, and you can use that. And it's better even if they have a little eraser, because that won't leave you a mark, and you can shape your tool with the help of the pencil. Now what I like to make sure that I'm not mixing the sizes, because sometimes it's hard to distinguish when they two of the same very close size. So I like to keep them in the separate, you know, groups, so they're all the same size. But then when you create your flowers, you can actually mix and match them, like have a little smaller in the center, then larger one. I like mine to be the same size. I don't know, maybe once I do those three-dimensional one, then I like them to mix and match and have them done from the flower bud. And here, if you like to have like a close one, you can then, you know, close off the buds as well, and that way you will start gluing them from the back side, not the front one. So I'm gonna leave one for a flower bud, and here I will leave two of them for the flower buds. So that means I will just, you know, I will shape them from the back side. And then for the front one, I am pressing on each petal and then center each petal on the back, or this tool, it doesn't matter. The smaller one for a smaller petals will be slightly better. And then that's it. Very, very easy. You don't really need a lot of the time, and I love this design because it doesn't really require as much, like, you know, skill. Everyone can do it. And as I've mentioned, you can use the pencil, you can use the piece of the cardboard as your guide for creating the flowers. You not necessarily need to have the die cutting machine. And then look on that, you've got beautiful flower buds just like that, only by shaping them from the back side. So I am just shaping them from here, and then I am rolling it towards the center, and that's it. I've got beautiful flower bud, and then I will glue it here so no one will see the inside. But if you're scared that the inside will be visible, you can always kind of color them, have this little darker shade on the inside as well. Okay, and now the fun part. Here's what I'm using for my flower centers. I'm either using here this little buttons, and you can also use like a half pearls. Look on that. I will just show you them in a close-up look, one by one. I have this beautiful, I like this one. This is really pretty. I think I've bought it on the online auction, like on the eBay or something. But if you look for the flower centers, and this is just the pearls, like look on that. This is just a simple pearl. They even have those little holes, so that one you can buy in the crafting section. And I think those little pearly one you can also buy in the flower section, or you can also get just a regular half pack pearl. But I do like this one. They have this golden rim around, or buy something like that as well. That will be great to have those like a little stamen pointy ones. Now I'm gonna be upgrading my card, and I know I'll be going with the gold design. So I think I'm gonna put those back, the silvery one. Oh no, my pearl has fallen. Anyway, I'm gonna keep those one here in a box so they could stay in place. And now let me see. For the large one, I like this one. For the medium one, is that one enough or is it too large? I'm just double checking. Oh, this one would be nice as well. And then for a small one, shall I go with this one? That's too large. So for the small one, I will use the round one. Okay, or maybe this one and this one. Oh yes, look on that. So we've made the decision. I've made the decision. Now I'm starting from the smallest one, and here's what I'm gonna do. For the tiny one, I'm just gonna add a little dot of the glue, and I am putting the pearl, and I'm making sure that I have this opening sideways, so it's not gonna be visible from the center. And now here's what I'm gonna do. A dab of the glue, and I am just gluing it just like that. And then another dab of the glue, and I am just closing it. And then this one here is like that, just like that. Then this one will go in the middle section, just like that. And a last one here. Okay, so I've got this kind of like a flower bud, but you can see the pearl is sneaking out from underneath. And then what I will do, I will adhere this to the flower center like that, and I'm just pressing it just like that. And then I'm gonna upgrade the size for a little bit bigger, I think. Or shall I put the same one? Well, decisions. Maybe no, I'm gonna upgrade it, and I'm taking a little size bigger. And then, which one was the bigger one? Here. I am gluing it in the center. And very important, once you place your petal, try to offset that one, so the petals will be in between. And look on the how pretty flower it is. And maybe what I will do to complete the look of it, I will add another layer of the same size, but this time I'm gonna put it a little bit flatter. Okay, whoops. And I'm just gonna glue it in the center, and then very importantly, I am offsetting it. So I'm just pressing it with this pearl. Don't squeeze it too much, and I have beautiful flower. Look like that. How pretty this one is. So again, this one, next one, I'm gonna do this little pearl here, and I'm just gonna place it just like that, so I have this nice border. And then I will place it on another size of the flower, and then I am just pressing it with my finger, so just like that, just like that. And then third layer, why not? You can put 2 layers, 3 layers, but I just think that those elegant flowers, they look slightly better when they have a little bit more layers into them. I'm just gonna top up my hot glue gun with a little bit more stick here, and then I am offsetting it, making sure that the petals are unevenly, like, okay. And then I am pressing in the center right on this. Oh, look on that, how pretty those flowers are. And then what you can do, you can kind of, you roll them back, you can, you know, just give them a little bit more dimension by just shaping them in the hand. And also you can take the tweezers, let me just grab one, and then you can kind of roll back some of the edges just like that. You pinch it and then just roll it back. And if you do it, you can roll one side diagonally and then another end on the other side, so that will be more interest look, or one side or whole petal, it's up to you. Just experiment. As I'm mentioning, everything in nature, like, there's never 2 of the same flowers. And I would even like the bigger one pearls. But do I have some bigger size? Oh, I'm not sure. Let me just quickly see. That's the same one. I don't think I have anything like that in the same pale color, so I'll just stick to what I have. Sorry, I'm walking off, but I must to tell you, my friends, this is so freeing experience having this standing desk, because oh my gosh, I just love it. And this one, I'm just gonna fold it like that with my finger, so it's kind of stay close, and then I will place it directly onto here. Here we go, just like that. And then this one goes up, and then next one goes here. Here we go. So just like that, and then this one, and you can keep it like that, that's fine. Sometimes you can like to add another layer, but sometimes you can keep them like that, and then you have a little bit different result, which is also very interestingly looking. So just have fun, just experiment and have fun with your flowers. So I'm just gonna add this one more of this gold little piece in a flower center, and I was just looking for a flower center pearls, just in case anyone will be interesting. I've just searched, I think it was eBay, I've bought them from, and they are on the Amazon as well. So if you just search for this like little pearl and things like that, you'll be able to find some elements. And shall I leave it just 2 layers? Oh, I don't know. Decisions, you know. So I'll leave it just like that for now, and then again I'm just gonna do one more of this one. So I'm adding the glue to the pearl or to the center, either way it doesn't really matter. I am squishing it with my fingers, and you can add a teeny tiny bit of the glue just here on the side of the petal, and then just kind of fold it, not on all of them. You can either do all or you can do a little bit, it's up to you, and that way that will hold its shape. And then what you can do, you can place that one inside of the one and then create this bud effect. Oh, I don't know, like, you know, let's see how it will look like, because to be honest, we can always cut more of those flowers and then create more of those beautiful petals. So just be brave and, you know, just kind of see what you like and what you don't like. Maybe that one, larger one. Oh, I don't know, each one of them is slightly different. Or maybe like that. I'll leave it like that. I like it when it's like that. Now what else I have? I have the rest, so I'm just gonna use this one on here, just a little pearl on that one, just like that. And I will leave these singles. These are just great for creating the what I'm saying, for creating little that extra filler to the composition. Very easy, very simple, just single flower with a teeny tiny bit pearl, and these are just fabulous. Oopsie, for making those composition. And this one, I think I'm gonna what to do. I maybe try to see if I will just form it like that, okay, and see if this one will be working as the center for more close but here. Okay, a little bit like that. So I'm just pressing it so it's a little bit more close off, and then it's end up on here. Here we go. Right, just like that. So we've got something else. Each one of them is different. So look on that. Let me just put them here so I could put them a little bit closer to you. And within a few minutes, I don't even know how long the video is. Let me see. Oh, we're 40 minutes. So 40 minutes, we've got beautiful collection of the floral elements, and tomorrow I will invite you to see the upgraded version with more fancier flower and a little bit more fancier arrangement. But we're gonna be redoing this card, so hopefully that'll be interesting for you as well. Stay blessed, my friends. I'll see you shortly, and of course don't forget to subscribe, share and like, and write something nice in the comment. Let me know how's the weather like. It's very, very hot here in Poland right now, so I'm just sweating. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye bye.